So when it comes to game controllers throughout the years, there have been so many different variations, some of which are definitely iconic, even though if they are weird, and some I think are just timeless. They just work so well and so many people love them. They haven't changed too much over the years. And some are from things that aren't necessarily game systems. They're weird, but they are functional, like this NVIDIA Shield controller. But then there are those that I would say are just legendary, and today I want to talk about one that I feel is my favorite controller. Not only is it iconic and also a revolution in my opinion, but it's also one that I think is extremely functional, and that controller is this right here. Of course, this is the original OG Nintendo controller, or from the Famicom, and man, this is such a simple yet beautiful controller in so many ways, and at the same time I just love the way that it looks and this whole blocky nature. You know, it's just so different back then, because originally I started off with an Atari, and they had some simple controllers at the beginning with just one button controller, and then later on with later versions of the Atari 5800 all the way to the Atari Jaguar, it just became a mess. It had too many buttons. It was horrible controllers. But it wasn't until Nintendo came around, and to some extent the Sega Master System as well, that really offered gamers an excellent controller that was also iconic in design, especially with the Nintendo. And it's one that I still really enjoy using today, because whenever these quote-unquote modern controllers first started coming out, there was a lot here. You know, a lot of different buttons. They had this whole analog thing, and even though we're used to it now, if you kind of think back in the day when we first started with Atari, one button, and then you go to something like this, and then move to this is absolutely complex. And then when you have something like the Dreamcast controller, it was just odd. You know, there were certain things that I liked about it, but honestly, it wasn't as comfortable, although it did have a lot of really cool new functionality. And whenever I go back to this Nintendo controller, it's still just as good, maybe even better. Whenever I want to go back and play some modern games, it's easy to use, easy to pick up. There's not too much out there, and the quality is just absolutely amazing. This one still is really high quality and works well today. And so that is my quick thought on what I feel is my favorite controller of all time. It is the Nintendo controller, and maybe you feel the same way. So if you did have any thoughts in this, be sure to leave it in the comments area below. And if you did want to see more of my retro gaming videos, I do have an entire playlist. I'll leave that in the description area below. Hey geeks, if you are a brand new creator and you simply want something easy to get you started, well, I got something for you with my Creator Starter Kit. This is a super simple step-by-step guide that's going to take you from having no channel to developing your very first YouTube channel, along with ideas, thumbnail designs, and other creator tips, including marketing. And the best part is, all of this is free. Simply head over to the link below, check out my page, and get started creating.